This is Fuck Around and Get Paid, the podcast where fun, flow, and strategy meet to help you get paid for doing what you love. In this episode, we're going to talk about why teeny tiny wins matter so much more than you think and how to get the most of them. Let's dive in. Hello, my friend. Welcome back to the podcast. There's a little idea I want to play with today. We're going to play today. How's that sound? That sounds like a good time to me. Hope it sounds good to you. This episode is for the person who maybe has been feeling like I should be further along by now, or nothing big has happened yet, or I'm so behind, or I'm running out of time. This is an episode specifically created for you because I want to show you how far along you really have come and how we can accelerate that if you want to. We're about to hop into this energy of the fire horse, baby, here in 2026. And so it might be of benefit to you to listen to this conversation and to do a little reflection for yourself. So that's what we're going to do. So these little steps that we take can be so easily overlooked. And when we do that, we really lose the power in the opportunity that is here for us in some of the wins that we have had. And some of these little steps, all of these little steps really are the reason why you're standing right here where you are. And they have all been divinely timed, and you've been guided exactly to every step that you have taken. So we're going to dive in here. But first, I want you to pause, and you can still be driving or moving and listening, but I want you to pause mentally for yourself and ask yourself this question. What has shifted for me in the past 6 months? What are the shifts? Even if it looks small on the outside, what are the things that have shifted for me? And again, it doesn't have to be that you have hit the vision that you thought or hit all of the goals that you thought. Maybe you did, maybe you didn't. That really doesn't matter. It's just, what is the shift? This could be emotional. It could be a shift in your career, in your business, in simply the way that you're doing life, in your relationships. What has changed? We're going to come back to this. So if you need to pause and give yourself a second, you can pause and come back. We're going to come back to this as we move along. There's something that I teach inside of Safe to Sell that I call the Lego business. We're not going to dig deep into the Lego business and exactly how it occurs here, but I want to share the idea with you because this idea is very simple. Every single thing that you create, it doesn't matter what you create, whether it's a post on social media, a live that you do, an offer, a workshop, any kind of free resource that you might create, anything that you create. In fact, not even just things that you create, but the things that you do, all of them are Lego bricks. And so I suggest to my clients, this is how we build our businesses, is through this lens of the Lego business. So when you're inspired to make something, knowing that it is a brick in your business, it is something that you have that is physical, that you could use, that you could reuse, that is being supported, it's supporting something else in the business, make it valuable. If you're going to do it, make it valuable. Go all the way in. And by make it valuable, I don't mean that it has to be perfect. I definitely do not mean that it has to be perfect. It means energetically, if you're going to do it, go all the way the fuck in. Like, just go for it. Even if it's free, even if nobody sees it, say you do an Instagram live and nobody ends up seeing it, nobody watches it, go all the way in anyway. Even if you don't see where it fits yet, just go all the way in, because you're not just creating content for the outcome. You're creating it for first yourself to have the experience of getting to create it, but you're also simultaneously in the process of that, you're creating new skills. you're gaining confidence, you're getting clarity, and you're getting evidence for your brain to see, oh, hey, I can do a hard thing. You're building pieces that will eventually snap together into something really, really cool. And maybe you can't quite see the full vision. Maybe you have a vision. I do suggest having a vision of what we're moving to, but maybe you can't see the full picture just yet. You kind of have a sense of where you're going, but you don't see the very clear picture. But you know that I'm being guided right now to this and to do this thing. And so I'm going to go all the way energetically in and create it, knowing that it's so valuable. Okay. So you don't always get to see the castle that you're building while you're holding or even creating the brick. So let's move this concept that I teach as an actual business tool into life. So life as a Lego business. Here's where we go beyond this concept of just creating a actual thing, a tangible thing in business. Really think about this in your life itself. You don't always know in the moment that you're gaining some kind of experience what it is building toward. So yes, love that vision of yourself on the Amalfi Coast. Love that vision of yourself with your future spouse, with your children. Like, feel into the beauty and the magic. That's essential. The feeling is essential. That's one of the first things that we do when somebody becomes a student of mine inside the expansion room. We tap into the feelings through a guided process. It's so important to know that, to feel the vision, have the direction. But with that, this is just the way the universe works, my friend. You don't always know exactly the what and the why and the how. Unfortunately, life does not come like some Lego sets come with instructions that help you to build the Harry Potter set. That's not how life is. Life just hands you the bucket of Legos and says, go build, right? Like, that's how it actually works. So in the moment, all we have is intuition. I think of it like a painter who is doing their painting. They have a general idea of what they're creating, but they just have a feeling of, oh, this pink dab, it goes there. And then they work around that pink dab. They don't necessarily know why. They just added it to the canvas. It just felt right to put it there. And that's how your intuition moves through you. It tells you, go do this thing, follow the nudge, make the move. And then later, someday you realize, oh my gosh, that's why I did that. That's why this person showed up in my life. That's why what I thought was an epic failure was actually my best fail forward. Cool. We got that. That's the idea of the Legos. Every experience that you have in your life, it doesn't matter if it feels like a failure. It doesn't matter if it felt like you'd been a victim of circumstance, that something had happened to you and instead of happening for you. Realize they're all Lego bricks. It's all serving you. Those little tiny bricks, every single one of them is a win. Every single one of them is a win. Every single one of them is something that you are, it's like it's a little piece of your beautiful puzzle that you are building brick by brick. And let's actually make this tangible. Let's go back to the Instagram live thing. Say you have a nudge to do an Instagram live and you just have this urge to go talk about something. Like, I just need to share about this. I just need to tell this story. I just drove to McDonald's and this wild thing happened, and you just feel like, I need to go and tell this story. Nobody watches. Nobody. Like, nobody likes it. Nobody watches. It just felt like you were speaking into the void. You thought it was such a funny story, but nothing ever happened. Maybe you even felt a little silly or embarrassed. Like, why did I go tell that story? Why did I do that? I have no idea why. But 5 years later, down the road, all of a sudden, you get an invitation from somebody, a dream person reaches out to you and says, hey, I know that you're the expert in XYZ. Can you come on and do an Instagram live with me? How nervous would you have felt? You might still feel nervous, but how nervous would you have felt if you had never, ever done an Instagram live ever in your life before? That adds a new layer to the nerves that you already might have from this cool opportunity from somebody. But now you already know, oh, I can do the Instagram live. I've already done that once. I did it that one time when I told that weird story about McDonald's. So you've already done it. So it was a Lego brick. You had no idea why you were doing it. You just did it. It felt like a mistake. It felt like this weird little thing that you had done. But now you're not starting from zero. You don't have these extra nerves. So this was practice for the live event, a little brick that went on there. And now you're ready. That brick 100% mattered. I'll even give a personal example. Years ago, I created a breathwork membership right out of doing my breathwork certification. I was so into it. I created this membership. It was awesome. I cannot tell you how many cool things have happened because I created that membership. The membership, you could say it failed. I closed it. I had it for a year or a year and a half or so, but I have hundreds of breathwork sessions recorded. So not only do I have recordings that I'm now able to gift to my clients and package them in fun ways and offer them to them, I have all of these sessions. I also got all of the experiences. There's been other magical things that happened because of that. I had to figure out the technology. People, my clients, I help them with their technology, with playing music during sessions. That's super easy for me. I'm never nervous about that kind of thing because I have hundreds of sessions of experience. So while at the time I didn't realize all of the skills that I was gaining from that, it was brick by brick by brick, everything changed. That's what we call the Lego energy. So here's what I want you to do today. Let's go back. Let's circle back to the beginning of this conversation. In the last 6 months, let's ask yourself, let's do a quick little audit. You can just do this right here in your head. What have I learned how to do? What have I learned how to do in the past 6 months? This could be skills. This could be technology. It could be some new emotional capacity. You know, we've been going through some wild things in our country. I think we have all found, those of us who are self-reflective have found new layers of compassion, new layers of understanding how much we can hold, how much we can experience. Those are some learnings, just to give you some thoughts. Another question, where did I stretch myself? Even if those were little tiny stretches, doesn't mean you had to touch all the way to your toes. Where did I stretch myself? What did I create? Here's for the business owners. What did I create that still exists, even if it didn't take off? Is there something that I have, a worksheet, an idea, a concept? What did I create that still exists, even if it didn't take off? And finally, is there anything in my life that feels like it's insignificant, but actually that thing, that experience actually changed me? What have I learned how to do? Where did I stretch myself? What did I create that still exists, even if it didn't take off? What feels insignificant, but it actually changed you? I've created this into a worksheet that you can actually download. If you don't want to have to write these down or remember them, you can go and download them. There's the link in the show notes for you. But know that these are not small things. And this reflection that you're doing right now is power. This is powerful. This will serve you. Think about your life as Legos. Every single thing that you do, every single thing that you build, every skill, every new level of capacity, all of it is so valuable. And when we begin to see that, we see in any moment the opportunities that we can bring the value package that is you to the table. and how valuable that is, that's where money starts to flow, my friend. And it gets to flow with you doing the things that you love to do. That's how we fuck around and get paid. So you're painting this painting, this castle would not be complete without every single brick that you've had. So stop minimizing your progress and start giving yourself permission to celebrate even the tiny steps. Small growth is absolutely still growth. In fact, some of the small wins are actually the biggest wins of all. We realize when we look in hindsight. Nothing that you intuitively followed was a waste. Everything is shaping you into this magical unicorn of a human who you have become. Thank you so much for listening to this episode. If you gained a little something out of this episode, I encourage you to share it with a business bestie who might get something out of it too. And if you love this podcast, it would mean the world to me if you would go on Apple Podcasts, scroll all the way down to the bottom, search Fuck Around and Get Paid, scroll all the way down to the bottom, leave me a review. It would mean so much to me to get to read that from you. I'll see you in the next episode.